Hello my amazing friends, I hope you all are doing super well today. My name's Mackenzie and I'm so happy that you're here. So today I got a question from one of my subscribers here on the channel about making a video about budget living here in Hawaii. So as you guys know, I moved here about a month ago and Hawaii is magical. I absolutely love it, but it is known for being very expensive. So I want to share some of my tips with you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So before you decide to move to Hawaii, you should pick which island you want to live on. Now there are 8 different islands in the state of Hawaii. There's Hawaii, which is known as the Big Island, Maui, Oahu, which is the island that I'm living on, Lanai, Molokai, Kauai, Kahoolawe, which I don't think that's how you say it, and Niihau. That sounds, I don't think that's how you're supposed to say it. There are 8 different islands, so you should definitely pick which island you want to live on. Now, I can only give tips on living in Oahu. Oahu is a great island to live on. There's lots of really cool little things to do here, lots of hikes, beautiful beaches. You can also go down to Waikiki if you want and experience like the super touristy area of the island, but you can also go up to the North Shore within about an hour and a half. So that's also an amazing thing. You can kind of drive around the island. It's pretty small. The Big Island is a little bit bigger, and so it takes 7 to 10 hours just to get around the island, but it is a little bit different. It's a lot less tropical, I felt when I visited there, than it is here on Oahu. And I've also been to Kauai, which is a very tropical, and it is absolutely beautiful. Kauai kind of feels like the real Hawaii because it's a lot smaller towns. You don't have a big town like Honolulu. I haven't been to Maui, but Maui is definitely known as being the most expensive island in the chain of Hawaiian islands. So factor those in, research what exactly you're looking for in an island, and then you can start budgeting accordingly. So next I want to go over the 3 biggest expenses you're going to have if you're going to move to Hawaii. So there's accommodation, food, and transportation. So I want to talk about accommodation first because you have to live somewhere. So basically here in Oahu, if you live in a place like Honolulu or in Waikiki, which is kind of the main touristy area on the island, prices for real estate are crazy expensive. You can be paying upwards of $1,600 for a studio. That's kind of similar to Southern California prices. At the same time, you're also living on an island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in the biggest city in the state of Hawaii. So just factor that in. The area that I'm living in now is called Kaneohe, which is on the windward side. It is still just as beautiful as Waikiki, if not more so. And the place that I'm staying in now is kind of like a house. It's a 3-bedroom house, and the room is around $900 a month, but that includes electricity and utilities, but we have to pay for our own internet and cable and stuff like that. And we also get this absolutely epic view of the Kaneohe Bay, and it's super close to places like Kailua and Lanikai Beach, which are other touristy areas, but you can go and visit and then come back, and it just feels a little bit more small town, which I like. So deciding where exactly you're going to live on each island is something that you also have to research. Before you decide to come to Hawaii, while you're making a budget on how expensive it's going to be to live here, go on Craigslist, try and find different places that are in your budget, and just kind of figure out what the prices are going to be for the accommodation you're going to be staying in now. You can also get an Airbnb, or you can couch surf, or you can do a workaway. It kind of just depends, whatever works for your budget. For right now, I'm absolutely really happy with where I'm living, and it's great. I love being in a home, and I love having space to just relax. So just do your research, look on Craigslist, see if maybe an Airbnb or a couch surfing opportunity comes up. And there's also always workaway and then house sitting as well. I know that there are some house sitting opportunities here on the island or on any of the islands. It really just depends on what your budget is and what you're looking for. Okay, so next is food. Now, of course, we need food. Food is life. We need to eat to survive. And food is really expensive here on the islands. Now, it's kind of just depends on where exactly you want to be shopping. So I would say if you want to save some money, don't buy any of your food in like the major cities. So if I went down to Honolulu and I went grocery shopping, it's going to be a lot more expensive than if I go grocery shopping here in Kaneohe, and if I go to like a budget saving grocery So I usually shop at the place, it's called Foodland, and it's still a little bit expensive, so you just have to kind of adjust to that inflation. Everything is imported because it's an island, so food is going to be a little bit more expensive. Just to kind of give you a little bit of an idea, pasta sauce, so just like regular plain pasta, like basil and tomato sauce for pasta, a bottle of that is going to be about like $5, $6, sometimes even upwards of $7. And when I was living in California, they would only be like $2. So it's just the price that you have to pay, and you just have to kind of start budgeting for that. So if you're super tight on money, I think it's really good to go with the staples. So rice, beans, if you eat meat, I'm a vegetarian, so I don't eat meat. But vegetables can also be really expensive, so going to say like a farmer's market where maybe it's a little bit less expensive, and I also find that the quality is better to go to a farmer's market, so you can always do that to buy your vegetables. But fruit is actually pretty cheap here, so like pineapples are super cheap. Anything that grows on the island that's local is really cheap. So it's just, you just gotta kind of adjust your diet if you're really on a tight budget to what is locally grown here, and you should be able to save money that way. But otherwise, the food is a little bit expensive, but you just have to budget that in when you decide to move here. Okay, next is transportation. So on the island of Oahu, public transportation is great. There are buses that go all around the island, and it's not that expensive. I think it's like $1.25 one way. It's really, really cheap to take buses around this island. However, if you decide to go to other islands, public transportation is almost non-existent. And so that's something that you do have to think about. That's what's really great about the island of Oahu, is that public transportation is everywhere. If you want to rent a car, there's lots of different options. If you want to buy a car, there's lots of different options. It's kind of like, I feel almost like not living on an island when I'm on Oahu, because everything is so convenient. But with the other islands, you definitely feel the island vibe and the kind of small townness of it all. So it really just depends what island you want to live on. But if you don't have a car, if you don't plan on buying a car, then I would say that Oahu is a lot easier to be on. But the other islands are also extremely beautiful and a lot less crowded. So it just kind of depends what you're looking for. So gas is pretty similar to the mainland. I wouldn't say it's so expensive. It's upwards of around $3 per gallon. So those are kind of the gas prices that are on the islands. So even though there are basic expenses like accommodation, food, and transportation, Hawaii is absolutely amazing because there are so many free things to do on the island that are incredibly beautiful and once-in-a-lifetime experiences. So there are so many hikes that you can do. Going to all the beaches are free. You can go snorkeling, even though you have to pay for snorkel gear. It's not that expensive, especially if you rent gear not in touristy areas. Definitely suggest doing that. Just get all your gear in a non-touristy area, and then you can just drive to wherever it is you want to snorkel or surf. But that's the wonderful thing about living here. Even if you do have to pay for something like parking, or if you want to go to like a national park or a natural reserve, I know here in Hanoma Bay, which is where all the sea turtles are, you do have to pay a fee, but that's just because it's just for sea turtle conservation, and I feel pretty good about spending money for that stuff. So there's tons of free hikes. All the beaches are absolutely free and they are magical. I love the beaches here in Hawaii. And you can also, even on Oahu, you can still find not super populated beaches. So that's the amazing thing about these islands. You can still find some hidden gems that don't even cost a penny. Another really great thing about being on the islands is meetup. There are so many meetups here. I've gone to a few meetups. I play volleyball once a week with some really fun people, and it's just great to get to know everybody, and meetup is also completely free. When I go to meetups like volleyball or anything outdoorsy, you don't have to pay a cent. And of course, if you go out to a restaurant or something and meet other people with meetup, you're gonna have to pay for your own food, but still, that's a way to meet other people, and you guys can find fun, free things to do together and the next time that you go and you meet them. So it's really, really fun. So even here on Oahu, there are so many people that are going in and out or trying to meet new people, and so it makes everybody super friendly, and I've met some really cool people. Definitely resources to meet new friends once you get here. So those are my main tips for budget living here in Hawaii. I hope you guys enjoyed them. Let me know in the comments below if you do have any other questions. I absolutely love living here. One of the greatest things about Hawaii, even though it can be a tad expensive is the lifestyle and going to the beach every day and being able to island hop from one island to the next and experience so many different hidden gems and secluded places, and also visit really cool places like Waikiki where everybody's so friendly and you can go and enjoy drinks on a rooftop or something like that. And just being in a tropical paradise is so magical, and Hawaii is truly a special place. So if you are on the fence of coming to Hawaii, I think that you definitely should take the leap. Even though sometimes it can be a little bit expensive, just budget it in. And there's also a lot of opportunity for work here, especially on the island of Oahu. So definitely check those out. Check out job sites and go to Indeed.com or LinkedIn. Those are great job sites to try and find something in your field if you do decide you want to work here. Or if you're a digital nomad, you can also budget in all these different things. Just do your research beforehand. Figure out the things that are going to be the most expensive for you and just budget those in. But I think you definitely should decide to move to Hawaii. Hey everybody, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. Before you forget, please go and subscribe to me below. Give me a thumbs up. I love you all so much, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye!